We're seeing some stability with yam prices in Nigeria so far. Let's get a check on drivers so far with Tomiwa Ajewole, analyst with FDC. Great to have you, Tomiwa. So definitely we love our yams right here in Nigeria, but prices were not so attractive around mid-2024. But we're seeing some stability now, according to your report. What's driving sentiments there?
Yeah, good afternoon, Ladi. Thank you for having me. Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at yam compared to other commodities in Nigeria, we've seen a little bit stability in the price levels. Well, yeah, in June last year, 2024, we saw a sharp spike, about 70% to 18,000 naira for 3 tubers of yam, and it was mainly due to supply constraints. In Niger, which is one of the key producing yam states in Nigeria, there was a little bit of insecurity. You know, we had bandits destroying yam seedlings that were kept for planting, so that affected planting activities. And again, during the harvest season in Taraba, there was a little bit of heat wave, which also affected cultivation. So we've seen some supply constraints that stopped supply, and that was why the price increased. But as the harvest season kicked in, we had more supply from other producing states like Benue, where about 70% of yam production in Nigeria occurs. So that helped to stabilize the price. And then, you know, looking forward, what we expect to see for price, due to the fact that commodities in Nigeria are actually very, very sensitive to seasonality. So we are beginning to leave the harvest season or the harvest period for yam, which is usually between Q3, Q4, and now we're going into the planting season starting from March. So prices of yam may go up in the next few months, while later in the year comes down as harvest season comes, when there's increased supply.
Right, and we know yam farming is quite labor intensive and provides, you know, significant employment in rural Nigeria, but it seems they're not cultivating as much as they should. Well, what's driving that, you know, at the moment?
Yeah, so yam, just like, you know, Nigeria's agricultural sector, we don't do a lot of modern day farming cultivation. So, you know, just even let's look at the fact that prices are volatile. Ideally, in a modern farming system, should not have seasonality, should not be a huge effect, because, you know, we have controlled environments where we have good environment where there is ample supply. So ideally, if our agricultural sector was, you know, modern, we should not have seasonality effect. But, you know, and that also goes to the fact that we still even use labor intensive, talk less of mechanized farming when it comes to activities like planting, like harvesting. So, you know, that affects productivity, and that is one of the reasons why we have low yields. And again, looking at the effects of where the impact of the of not having a modern agricultural system, just look at the fact that there's a huge price difference between the farm gate price that farmers sell at and the total, the final price that consumers get it. And this reduces the farmer's income. And when the farmer's income is low, due to the fact that yam is very, very cost intensive, they don't have enough revenue to be able to invest. So, you know, what we can do is, imagine if we are able to have a modern day farming system where, one, if we bring in information technology, where first of all we have more improved access between the farmers and markets, where, you know, through apps where they can communicate. That would help, one, to make sure that we eliminate the middleman, so that's increased income for farmers. And two is that through that, farmers will be able to, you know, project their sales. And when they can project their sales, they know, okay, this is how much I need to plant. That way we can prevent post-harvest loss, which is another big deal. So those are just some areas where we need to improve our cultural cultivation system to bring it up to par to international standards. Our yield will increase after that.
And talking about yield increasing, well, we're definitely one of the biggest producers of yam, you know, globally, but the exports are not showing that. Do we see improvement coming, or what should be done to get our exports up?
Yeah, we have to first look at the constraint, because indeed we are actually the top producer of yam globally. But when you look at our exports, you know, we're not the best in that area, and it says a lot to the fact that it's just simply that our produce is not international standard. So our yam gets rejected in the foreign markets, and one of the reasons that has been cited is just the fact that there's a high level of toxicity in the produce, in the yam, and that's because of excessive use of inorganic fertilizers and herbicides. So, you know, yeah, we're seeing the implication or consequence of not having a modern day farming practice and cultivation. So that is affecting our ability to export our produce. So what needs to be done again is just, you know, there needs to be a lot of training and retraining for our farmers in the agri sector, and also increase finance to just really evolve the system practices. Because there are plenty organic fertilizers and even herbicides that can be imported or used that will reduce the toxic level. So if we can get that, and given our huge potential, we're already the largest producer. Imagine what will happen if our produce are high standard and we're able to export a lot. That's a lot of export earnings that plays on our comparative advantage.
All right, definitely need to look out for exporting more yams at this time. Thank you so much. That was Tomiwa there giving us details on stabilizing yam prices in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you.